Hello everyone, my name is Sanjeev Raj, metric number 263176 from Group E for Management Ethics. And our group's topic is sacrificing one person to save many. Well, this is my view. I would categorize myself into utilitarian group, where the actions promotes happiness and pleasure and also oppose any action that causes disappointment or harm to others. Utilitarianism promotes the greatest number of people's good, which means it always focuses on which action gives the best or the greater good to many. But however, it has limitations because it is a reason based approach to any decision or to any error. Let's say I'm given the trolley problem, whereby there is a train heading on its track and there are five people on the track, and there in another track there is one person. So I have the switch whether to change the train to the five people or to one people. And in this option, I would definitely go for utilitarianism, which is to save five people. Because for me, I would rather save five and pay the price of one person's life because it is the better choice in terms of happiness. And five is better than one for me. But let's say we change this situation a bit. Um, in the second option, where let's say I am on a footbridge with someone plumb in front of me, and below me there is a train track with the same five people and the train is heading towards them. Presumably, if I pushed the person in front of me and he or she, her body or his body, would stop the train and save the other five-person. In this scenario, I would be a deontologist, whereby every life matters. That is one, and I would prefer to let them die rather than to kill, because for me to push someone and letting them, I mean, to push someone, which means I am killing that person to save that five other person. So killing that particular person would give me a great guilt, and in that context, I would rather let the five-person die and presume that it was their bad luck. To If I was given the chance to stop or to step away, it's definitely to step away for the second option, because for me it's more reasonable to let someone die than to kill them. And why such difference in these two scenarios? Because of the options that's given to me. In the first option, regardless what I choose, both results in death, but the difference is the number of happiness or the number of harm. So in terms of happiness, saving five will give more happiness, and in terms of harm, killing five would give more harm. So I would choose one. But in the second scenario, one would be to kill, and another would be to save. So in this one, I would rather choose to save one, or how to say, not kill one. That would be my choice. So this difference in choice and also situation results in difference in the approach, in moral approach or moral belief. So for the first one, I will be a utilitarian, and for the second one, I would be a deontologist. That's all, and that's how I view. And it's very important for us to know where we stand and how we choose things, because this is a very important topic that is also very related in our real life, especially, to be more precise, in medical industries where these situations are more prominent. For example, in mercy killing, where someone is on their deathbed and surviving, mainly focusing on the machines, and it would be like a great opportunity for them to donate their organs to others who really are in need. So in these terms, this particular topic would come in, it would come suitable for them. So that is when these choices will be made by the person in charge or their family members. Same goes to another options, where someone who tries and becomes a human trial for a vaccine of a disease. It may sacrifice their life, but by sacrificing their life and correcting that vaccine to making it perfect, it will save million others. So all these topics are closely related to us, and from my point of view, like I said, for the first option, I would be a utilitarian, but mostly I would stay into utilitarian. Deontologism would be depends on the situation. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Fazlin Shaqina binti Noor, 262893. Trolley problem is a series of thought experiments in ethics and also psychology, which involve the technical dilemmas of either to sacrifice one person or to save the another person. The opinions of ethics of each scenario will be turned out into sensitive towards the storyline of a story that may seem immaterial to the abstract dilemma. The trolley dilemma, allowing us to think about the consequences of an action and consider either its moral value is determined properly by the outcome. The trolley dilemma has proven itself to be a flexible tool for presenting the moral institutions. It also has been adapted to be applied for the other various scenarios, such as torture, war, abortion, and also euthanasia. Scientists think that the moral institutions is the factor that make us as a good social partners. It is because the people starts to learn from a very young age that the violence towards other people is typically will be punished, which is the moral institution telling us that it is not the right thing to take some action that will physically harming the other people. So in this version of the trolley problem, which involve the physical contact such as foot breach case, killing or harming one people to save other is generally not really acceptable. Then the version that is not involving such contact, just like the switch case. Furthermore, another difference between a switch case and the footbridge case is that the latter is using a person as a means to an end, treating other people at the best as individuals with their own rights, wishes, and needs rather than the objects to be used at their own will is the main aspect to be a good social partner. Instead, there are many people out there who is strongly did not trust those people that is using others as a means to an end. Our moral institutions seems to accord with this principle. In a nutshell, this method is not only can be applied in the matters of life and death, but it also can be applied within the current issues that is happening in our daily surrounding. And this issue is actually does not meet the final either it is right or wrong. It just can be applied based on the situation. As everyone know, as we all know, we were delivered with the news of coronavirus, which is called COVID-19, where it is getting worsened day by day and never stop in the short run. Our frontliners were giving their best to serve the country to make sure the virus can be fight one day. They were sacrificing their life for the community. Some of them did not even get the time for their families since there are so many cases every day that need to be taken care of. Some of them also did not get the chance to see their parents for a long time due to this pandemic because it starts last year, which is 2021. This is also included in the ethics, which they are sacrificing themselves for the other people. We should appreciate them because they are the hero for the country.
From my view, is it ethical to risk one person's life to spare the life of many others? This is a topic that historians, ethicists, and legal scholars have debated for decades. For me, forming new relationships outside of conventional social structures like family or job is daunting, and my ability to risk one human life is smaller. When we are faced with a real-life scenario in which we may choose between sacrificing one to save many or sacrificing many to save more, we must be conscious about our behavior and think beyond the box. Sacrificing the few for the needs of the rest is a fair thing to do if you are a utilitarian. However, a few legal value systems disagree with this viewpoint. Personally, I think it is not my job to determine whether anyone else lives or dies. The truth is that everybody should have the right of self-determination.
Good day, doctor. My name is Ravi. Today I'm going to present on my view for sacrifice one to save many. From my opinion, I think sacrifice want to save money is wrong because there is a saying we all aware of which is there if there is a will, there is a way. When I'm doing my own research on the trolley problem analogy and also the lifeboat analogy, I tend to think outside of my box. Why, for example, why we can't stop the train instead of changing the lane? When the time passes by, there is always new analogy and new perspective in this ethical issue. If there is a real life situation where we had to choose between sacrificing one to save many or sacrifice the many to save one, we need to aware of our action and also need to think out of the box. For the example, I can say that all life matter. You may wonder why I'm telling that. Because during the Josh flood in early of 2020, a lot of business were destroyed. 17 to 18 cops were injured and dead. A lot of property also damaged. And all of the violence is just bring justice for one man. Only one man. For this, for me, this situation can simplify as sacrifice many to save one. Sacrifice one or many more than one. Life is life, actually. Every life is in this world should be valued and treated equally. No, if any situation we are should be degrade another human being just because of didn't agree with your belief system. Sacrifice one to save many isn't just about killing one person to justify that it's for having many lives. It can't be related to bullying, racism, sexism as well. This content not only applies in the real life or that situation. This can be used for other contexts, such as when the company fires their employees to avoid bankruptcy in order to save their company. This is the one of the common examples that the real reality people might face and instead just face firing employees or organization need to come up with new invention because each and every employee has their own responsibility as well. As for the Malaysian soldier frontliner, they know that opportunities and they have signed up for it. We need to appreciate their sacrifice because without that, our community will be less safe and will be chose to maintain peace in our country. Thank you. Just what from me.
Based on this case, sacrifice one person to save many, I have my view, then I am not agree with that statement. It is a need for us to save every life with all our heartly. This can be best described as we must put other life also as our life. As we do not want our soul to be taken or be as a no choice to sacrifice for, we also must do not do the same thing in safeguarding the other's virtue and rights. Besides that, every dilemma or problem must have the solutions, and the solutions will be coming to us as long as we are struggled to find it. It can be said that must be a bad action because it will regretting ourselves soon on our action that we have made. The last one, not have souls, even one can we make a choice to sacrifice them. So, sacrifice one person just to save many sometimes cannot be used in our community principles. Based on the case that we have studied for, the ethical lessons can be learned from the case is cultural or ethical relativism. Ethical relativism is the theory that has holds the morality of relative to the norms of one culture. This is meaning that whether the action was right or wrong is quite depends on moral norms in the one culture life that was being practiced. The moral standards that against with society's practices is might be judged. Next, There are some differences and similarities of cultural or ethical moral perspective of Malaysian and non-Malaysian stakeholders. And the last one, there are differences and similarities. The differences practices target different way to reach the goals each, while the similarities principles practice the same ways useful and benefit to maintain their goals. The last ethical lesson that we can learn from this case is moral reasoning quality. Our group have reached the conclusion on this case is by based on sound and defensible moral principles. Our group did resolve the conflicting view, interest, or moral principles of different group members is by use the term of moral reasoning repeatedly. Moral reasoning that we use is involved of understanding moral standards and know what others require, prohibit, value, and condemn. Next, involve evidence or information whether others' member and behavior has the features that the moral standards require. And the last one, a conclusion or lesson from others that was right or wrong, valuable or condemnable, and so on have been used in our group.